The origins of horror cinema trace back to the early 20th century. These films aim to evoke fear and horror in the audience, often featuring supernatural elements. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, an influential German silent horror film, is widely considered the first true horror movie. The horror genre evolved over the decades, taking on new forms and exploring different themes. The 1930s and 40s saw the rise of universal monsters, film's first real monsters. This era gave us iconic characters like Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the Mummy. Then came the 1950s and 60s, filled with psychological horror and suspense, with Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho leaving an indelible mark on the genre. It was this film that introduced audiences to the concept of a human monster, a departure from the supernatural creatures that dominated earlier horror cinema. The 1970s, however, marked a significant turning point. This was the era that gave birth to the slasher film. Influenced by Psycho and the escalating real-life violence of the time, filmmakers began to explore the darker side of human nature. Movies like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween exemplified this new breed of horror film, focusing on brutal violence and the sadistic pleasure of the killer. These films paved the way for the golden age of slasher films in the 1980s, which we'll be diving into next.